I was competing with, I think ilikuwa ni Eve D'Souza at 7 p.m. Who used to be there? On Capitol kulikuwa na Eve, let's do kulikuwa na nani tena. So now my show needed to stand out. So I'd Nini kabisa. So I'd end up, so now you're competing with Eve, you have to stand out. Eve is known for all this stuff. So now I'd end up now looking for music that I knew no one was playing. Okay. And that's how now my show ended up being. So a lot of people meet me and they tell me, Mwafrica, you're the reason why I love this artist. You're the reason why I love hip-hop. You're the reason why... Because people would call me. I remember there used to be this guy called Bidan. Bidan would call me and tell me like, hey, Budan, kwa hizi masaita za nini? Za Kajiado. Nachunga ngombe nikisikiza show yako. Sasa nakuchezea some wild Jay-Z, some what? Najua sikia ngombe, nini?
Where were you getting the music?
Downloading. Alafu, hizi siku downloading was so interesting. Because you'd have a 4 MB file.
Yeah.
Alafu inakuambia 3 days remaining.
Really?
4 MB. So like tuko natumia kitu inaitwa LimeWire. And LimeWire ilikuwa, it used to take so much time because it was peer nini.
Yeah, like Pirate Bay.
Yes, Pirate Bay. Yes. But now internet hizo siku ilikuwaje? The internet is very slow. So now you can try and imagine how you end up having all this exclusive music that no one has, because you have to really work hard for it. I'd come from YFM. YFM is in a place naitwa nini? Dennis Street, yes? Natoka Dennis Street naingia town. So ningia town around 2 p.m. I'll stay in town till around 8 p.m. just downloading music. Because now with time the internet became faster. So when I started, it would be 4 MB, 3 days. Then there used to be this place ilikuwa Barclays Plaza. So ulikuwa unaingia Barclays Plaza, unaenda downstairs. Ukienda downstairs, there used to be this cyber cafe.
Yeah.
By the time you cyber cafe ilifika, I think speeds ilikuwa like 50 kbps.
50 kbps. Okay. Na sasa hii una do 500 MBs per second.
Yes.
That's a jump of how many percentage?
That's 10,000 I think faster.
Yeah.
Ukijua vile niko na fry. Like 50 kbps, yani unataka kuniambia hii kitu ingoma nitakuwa nayo today. So niko naingia hapo I'd used to spend like part of a very huge chunk of my salary just downloading stuff. Because niko naingia hapo 2 p.m. I stay for 6 hours. At 8 p.m. naishia Kejani.
You were not giving them the budget for downloading music?
No, they did not give you. Because you see, like radio was also very different that time. You are the producer, the editor, the what. So I always say that Roll Media really helped me. Because me, when it comes to audio and video, I don't think there's anything I can't do. I can edit, I can clean, I can dub, I can whatever. I can do everything when it comes to audio and video. And with audio, I learned at Royal Media. You see, so yeah, so niko natoka Johnny naenda na nini na download, then I have to go home and now use censor. Because don't forget, rap music is still rap music. It's F this, F that, MF this. So you have to edit that for radio, and then the next day play. So I'd play for people music they never heard anywhere. But
that thing would have a lot of cussing. How do you?
Yeah, you can clean it. You learn. You end up learning how to clean, and you see the beat repeats itself. Yes, so you can take part of this beat, alafu weke chini yake. Alafu ile place mtu ametumia word unakata tu, so mtu anasikia pap afu jue hiyo kitu kuna kitu imekatwa hapo pap hivyo. So that's what we do. So but now hii ni kitu ngoja try kuonyesha ni the way radio that time was different, because as a radio presenter you had control of the music, you had control of what people listened to. When I think about reggae music, I think about Jeff Mwangemi because of what Jeff represented. I think Jeff is the first time I heard ingoma Ja Heavy Load ya Ijaman Levi, and I've never forgotten. Like, hey, I got to carry Ja Heavy Load. I'm like, paka like majuzi Octopizo sampled Ja Heavy Load. He has a song called Lair, so it's a Luo song but with a reggae sample. It's just a crazy song.
Yes, I've listened to it.
Yeah, people need to listen to that. And when I heard that song, I remembered Jeff Mwangemi. How many times do you hear a song and you remember a radio presenter? So I'd say radio presenting nowadays is not the same as the way it was during the days of Modone Buika, Eve D'Souza, Jimmy Gathu, and what. Because right now you don't control the music, and since you don't control the music, now you have to control the conversations, and that's why.
When you say you don't control the music, what does that mean?
I can find my own music.
But what do they do now?
Like you see, right now, like if I want to listen to Wakadinali, I don't need you. I can get it for myself.
Yeah.
Yes, and I can rewind. During my day, you had to get a tape or make sure battery ziko.
Yeah.
So easy. The conversations are what is driving good radio, and that's why now you have Gideon Ghost. Apart from Gideon Ghost, you have of course Spice, because Spice have mastered that art. Where I think the revenue for Spice on YouTube has to be at least on the lower side. 30% of their revenue is from YouTube. What Eric Latif is doing, it's crazy, because it's like the most honest political conversation on radio. So with that, a lot of people gravitate towards that. So they're making a lot of money from that, and you can see that traditional advertising is also reducing, because why would I pay for radio where if you miss the ad, you've missed the ad?
Yeah.
Well, I can pay for the internet where you can never miss the ad. Because see, if you're watching in the morning and Coca-Cola is advertising, you'll see it in the morning.
Yeah.
Mimi nikienda kuwatch jioni, nitaiona jioni.
Yeah.
Well, watch lunchtime, so you don't have to worry about this ad is going to run at 9:15 a.m. So ikimiss imemiss. So unapata, that's why digital inapata do. And this can only get better. The more that price ya internet inaenda chini, the more a lot of advertisers will end up going online.
Exactly. So you were telling me the story of radio. So after why you jumped to
Ghetto.
Yeah.
So
Ghetto. The story of Ghetto has always confused me, because I'm told that story Ghetto came as a non-profit. What is the story of Ghetto?
Ghetto is a very interesting project.
Yeah.
This is what happens. In 2006, I'm fired. I did not quit. I rarely quit. I quit at some point.
Why did they fire you? You played Jay-Z and you
No. It actually happened. Your show yangu ilimuviwa. So it used to be at 6 p.m. Then it was moved to 10 a.m. So
10 a.m. in the day, during the days?
Yeah, during the day. So when it was moved to 10 a.m., this time I think it was moved by Muthone Buika. She became the head of radio, so she moved it to 10 a.m. And then they didn't even give her time. I think they gave her like 6 months. Then they brought Jimmy Gathu to be her boss. So Jimmy Gathu had to change everything. So Jimmy Gathu came up with, let's change the name from YFM to Hot 96. It's Hot 97. It was not very creative. Sorry, Jimmy, but that's not creative. I feel like YFM was more creative than Hot.
Was it supposed to be Youth FM?
Yeah, it was supposed to be Youth. So why? That one had also been copied from South Africa. So South Africa has YFM 99.2, one of the biggest. Nini, even till now, it's one of the biggest. So when they copied that idea, they never gave it time. They'd move things so fast, so nothing was working. So now when Jimmy akakuja akafeel like issue ya hip hop, it's too hardcore, we need to do more whatever. So akaitoa. So bila litoa, I stayed jobless for a few months, I think 3 months even. Then I received this call from a certain girl called Angel Wainaina. She died, she passed away. She used to be on Cobra Squad. So akaniambia, there are these people who are starting a new station called Ghetto Radio, and you need, and I've told them that you need to be involved, and you can have a hip-hop show on it. But then I went to meet these guys, and when I met them, they were asking me questions about radio. And you see, I know how to observe stuff, so I'd observed a lot of stuff on why that I felt could work. So I was telling them, you can do this, you can do this, you can do that. Then with time, it went from being a presenter to, you can help us run programming. So that's how I ended up. And by that time, in 2006, late 2006, hatuna a frequency. We had nothing. So they are negotiating for a frequency. By 2007, tukaanza kuongea na KBC, because KBC had all this. 89.5 is a KBC frequency. So wakakubali. So by the time KBC walikubali, these guys were like, now, wewe, since we want you to run this station as the program director, program manager, you need to go learn how to do that. And they paid for a trip. Nikaishia Netherlands. There's a station called Fanex. Fanex also targets the youth, blah, blah, blah. So nikaenda hapo nikafundishwa do this do that.
How long?
So nikarudi, stayed there for around 2 weeks. Because the crash program, you know, the Dutch are like pure the Europeans.
Yes,
they don't joke around. Hakuna ati kama ni 7 a.m. ni 7 so I had to stay kwa hizi stations like the whole day. I'm just there naonyeshwa hii naonyeshwa, afu najua there's a language barrier because they speak that language and someone has to translate for you, so it was hell but it was really good. So now we come back, we start negotiating na KBC, then by the time kila kitu ina happen ya KBC, now it's 2008. So tukaanza in 2008.
So you were approaching 2006 and 2 years later.
Yeah.
Are they paying you any salary within this time?
Yes, I was being paid kidogo. Nilikuwa nimekuwa on retainer ya 30k for a very long time. Then vile tulifika 2007 hivi nikaikuwa sasa ndio nikapushiwa nikaikuwa full salary. So sasa nikaingia full salary alafu nikanini. So hii time yote everyone who's involved with Ghetto Radio right now was not there.
Yeah,
because I've come to see kuna hii revisioning, history revisionism, ile people start writing their own things.
Yeah.
So a certain lady, I'm not going to say her name, but I saw her saying she was a Ghetto Radio founder, and I'm like, fuck off, you're not. Yeah, don't do that.
Do that.
But pia Ghetto Radio taught me a lot of stuff. It taught me I like telling people that number 1, do not quit your job. Number 2, don't think your boss is your friend. This is the mistake that a lot of people make. Because Ghetto Radio has so many fights. By the time to go 2007, Sarakasi is involved, Sarakasi Trust. Sarakasi Trust is run by the Dutch. So the Van Dijks. How Van Dijks wache kwanza kuchapana na wengine who are also Dutch. So kachapana. Mimi, because Sarakasi wakifight this other Dutch, they're also fighting me. They're like, Mwafrica pia kuende Turkey. We want to bring our own person. So they wanted to bring some much older woman to run the station. I think she was like 52 years old. Your time that channel is supposed to target like the youth. Like the core target audience was 18 to 30. So it wouldn't have worked, you see, because yangi kujana nini. So when she's being fought, of course me to join the side of the people who are fighting. For me, sindio, who want me to stay. So if fight nikakuwa involved. So this is 2008. By 2009, Sarakasi tumewa kick out. So we used to even run the station from Sarakasi Dome. Tulikuwa na ofisi hapo ndani. So vile walikosana, eventually we had to move out. But you see, kwa this fight I was involved. And I became very close with like one of those founders of Ghetto Radio called Martin Brower. So we became super close. At the time, tulienda New York, tulienda pamoja. I always tell people the stories of how he'd make some jokes that at that point, you see, I'm pure African, meaning Mwafrica, as in, yes. So one of the jokes I normally give ni tukiwa kwa flight ya Netherlands, New York, coming back New York to Amsterdam. He was calling me baby. And the reason why he was calling me baby, tuliendaga States. And around the same time, that's when men had started calling each other baby. Like, yo, man, yeah, that's right, baby. Like, like dudes call themselves, nowadays it's very common to a certain level.
Yes.
So people are calling themselves. So we'd go to New York and we go to a park, hip hop. Alafu, you see like two dudes like, yeah, what up, baby? Like, so now this dude took advantage. He knew like I'm pure African, very homophobic. So tuko kwa ndege, but like imagine mzungu amekaa huko nyuma alafu you are African. Like, you need anything, baby?
This is terrible.
Then Amsterdam to Nairobi, he had his most fun. Because don't forget, the New York to Amsterdam flight, a few people know that culture of calling each other baby as men.
Yeah.
Amsterdam to Nairobi hakuna mtu anajua. So wacha mtu anje kuniita baby ndani ya Kenya Airways. I always say that I remember this one woman who looked at me in disgust.
Yeah.
Anajua like wewe unadumwa matako. Never forgotten that. So we were super tight. So we are that tight where this is your boss, but the lines become blurred. So at some point the station didn't pick up as fast as it was supposed to pick up. And with that, I always blame the Kenyan advertiser. The Kenyan advertiser, to me, sometimes they don't. Like, I'd go and I'd tell them, like, this is Ghetto Radio. It's 89.5, yes?
Yeah.
There are people listening to us that should not listen to us. Why? Because they don't have an expander, so they end up listening to us. This is the default this is the default radio station for new cars, and of course ikachukua time. So with that, your time tukaanza kuvurutana because once then you need to be profitable faster than me nataka. Nini namwambia like we need patience, this thing is going to happen, blah blah blah. So tukaanza kuvurutana, and that's how I ended up quitting. I was not fired. So when I quit, things didn't go the way I expect, because me couldn't expect, and me quit, me build Ghetto Radio, someone else will see me and offer me a job. It took 3 years before someone offered me a job.
3 years?
Yeah, before sasa nimeenda where did I go? I ended up at QFM. But 3 years si kwa ati nitagrock peke yake, because pia when I was on Ghetto, like my chemistry with Rapture was so, a lot of people could see it. So when I was at Ghetto, we ended up getting the first Safaricom ad ya *544# ilikuwa mimi na Rapture. Like you could advertise when Safaricom started selling bundles. Sindo ilikuwa watu wa kuisell. Alafu pia tukaanza kufanya Raya. So Raya was on started on K24, and then from K24 it moved to NTV. Then from NTV it moved to QTV. So I was still making some money. So by the time nafika 2013, I still have Raya. Sasa nimeingia QFM. Stayed to QFM for around 1.5 years. And then after hiyo kakuwa ni tagro. Because pia sikuwa na save. I never used to save. So like even I like...
Pesa ilikuwa inaenda wapi? Kwa wanawake ama kwa pombe?
No, not kwa wanawake. Fun enough, it's I don't... yes, nilikuwa mtu kukatiana, yes. But nilikuwa mostly kufuel gari kwenda kupick up mtu na kurudi naye kwa nyumba. Alafu Arsenal versus Manchester, unajua. But haikuwa ati, it was never, I've never been a spender, ati mtu wa kuspend, do kuimpress them, I've never been that. But try and imagine you are solo, kwa peke yako kabisa, one single person. You're living in a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
And you're paying 47,000 shillings. And this is 2012. Does that make sense? Kupeke yako. In hindsight, it's wasting money. Yeah. You see, when you're young, you don't see these things. When you're older, that's when you're like, nah, I used to waste money. So niko na waste pesa sana. Mu joke sana nikisema that right now rent yangu ni less than time nilikuwa naishi solo. And right now, I have a family. It's like, damn. I just needed to stay away from, but your time I really wanted to stay away and stay next to the CBD. So that's one of the things. Now, if you want to stay next to the CBD and stay in a place like Ngara, in a good house, ile like ukifungua window hivi jua inakuchapa and there's water full time, and you'll pay a premium.
You'll pay a premium.
Yeah, but if you want to live kwa zile house giza, hizo utalipa premium.
Yeah.
So that's what. So I wasted a lot of money your time. So by the time job iko inaisha, I really struggled. End up nimeenda Langata time yote nini. Sasa ndio baadaye sasa nikadeal na hiyo reality. I think I struggled because I could not believe I was not getting media opportunities. I was like, budajo, everywhere I've gone.